And tonight I really wanted to talk about fabric stores. And the reason being is that this week there was a fairly surprising announcement I saw by a fabric store that, that's kind of new to the scene. So let's talk about this. And what I'm referring to is Melanated Fabrics. So Melanated Fabrics is a fabric shop. They did do online sales, and they had an actual brick and mortar store in the Atlanta area. And it was founded by Mimi G, who I think most of us know, and Brittany Jones. I believe they were the co-owners. And this week they announced that the shop is just closing, which was quite surprising because I don't remember when they opened, but it hasn't been that long, and I thought they were doing relatively well. They put this announcement out on Instagram, so let's check this out. So it says, Thank you to everyone for being so supportive. We are thrilled to get started on new ventures and growth. Please visit melanatedfabrics.com and shop our 60% off our entire online sale. So much love, Mimi and Brittany, aka Partners for Life. So it's sort of like a carousel. And I followed these ladies for a long time. They seem very cool. I've watched quite a few of Mimi G's sewing tutorials. And she also has something called a Sew It Academy, and she's huge. So they put out this announcement. It says, Dear valued customers and supporters, it is with a blend of emotions that we announce the closure of Melanated Fabrics. First and foremost, we want to express our heartfelt gratitude for your steadfast support throughout our journey. Running a brick and mortar store has been both rewarding and challenging. While we have cherished the connections made and the vibrant community we've been part of, we have also faced the realities of balancing business demands with personal priorities. After much reflection and consideration, we have decided to prioritize our family and well-being, leading us to close this chapter of Melanated Fabrics. Family is the cornerstone of our lives, and we believe that this decision will allow us to nurture those bonds and create long-lasting memories together. Though we bid farewell to our beloved store, we are filled with excitement for what lies ahead. This closure marks the beginning of new opportunities and adventures. While Melanated Fabrics may no longer be a physical presence, our commitment to empowering and uplifting our community remains unwavering. We invite you to join us on this journey as we explore new avenues and endeavors. Your support has been the backbone of Melanated Fabrics, and we're grateful for every moment shared with you. Thank you for being an integral part of our story. We cherish the memories and connections forged and look forward to the future with optimism and anticipation. Although the physical doors to our Atlanta store are now closed, our online store will remain open until June. We are having a huge 60% off sale for the remaining months, so go shop. With deepest gratitude and warmest regards, Mimi G and Brittany J. Jones, owners of Melanated Fabrics. Oh, and here's a picture of the two of them together at the shop. Okay, so I checked out the shop because I was like, I want to see what they have, but are you guys surprised by this? Now, I have not personally shopped with Melanated Fabrics. I knew of it. To be real with you, I haven't bought a lot of fabric lately, besides, ordering from my distributor, since I can order some fabric wholesale, but I've been on a fairly low fabric buy for me. So that's sort of my, where I'm coming from this. I have heard of Melanated Fabrics, but I didn't really, I had not been to the shop because I did live in Atlanta, but I lived there before Melanated Fabrics opened. And, and again, I did tend to shop more at like the fabric.coms and whatnot. So I tended to, I don't know. That's the tough thing about fabric is that fabric is so taste specific. So I've noticed certain, especially the online or the niche fabric stores, they tend to go for kind of a certain type of fabric or certain style. And, it's tough to move. I sell fabric myself. It's pretty hard because it is such a personal decision. So I think selling fabric is one of the harder things you can do in this space in terms of business. I have thousands of dollars worth of fabric inventory right now, and it's been pretty. It's definitely a slow moving product. especially if it's not like a neutral or if it's something that's like very, again, like novelty prints, stuff like that. So yeah, it's tough. I don't know how business was going for them, but if it was slow, I can certainly understand. Plus, there's the cost of having all of the overhead from a physical store. That's something that I don't deal with because I only sell on Etsy. But having all of those costs, like a physical location, getting all of the licensing required, insurance, all of that other stuff, it's tough. And I can see why. Again, we've seen a lot of local quilt shops close, fabric stores, obviously places, even like huge corporate chains like Joann's are struggling. It's hard. It's hard, and business is hard. And, again, and I've talked about this pretty openly. My Etsy shop just about breaks even, and I don't even have a physical location. So for everyone that's like, yeah, having a physical store is a very, especially in the quilting or sewing, knitting, crafting space, it's tough. And again, if even Joann's can't figure it out, it's going to be even more difficult for a small business owner that's not able to benefit from buying in bulk and getting like the lowest volume discounts and all of that stuff. So I'm sorry to see melanated fabrics go, because I do think they kind of filled like a niche space, and I thought the shop looked cute. Another thing I will say is that Atlanta in particular is a tough market for physical businesses as well. And I think they had some factors that other cities did not have, because the traffic in Atlanta is freaking terrible. And I saw where the location is, and it was like in I believe it was like more in Midtown Atlanta. I used to work in downtown Atlanta. And so if you want to get anywhere in the Atlanta area, it takes forever. Even at off-peak hours. You really like if you were trying to get to like the other part of town, it's very rough. Especially if you're going during like rush hour or like very popular times. And I saw that the shop was open like Monday through Friday, like 10 to 6 or 9 to 6. So the shop was not open in the evenings or on the weekends. And that would actually be like one of the better times to go to shopping, because you're not dealing as much with rush hour traffic. Like if I was trying, like I would actually, when I lived there, I would actually try to plan out what I was doing around like, basically around when the traffic would be the least terrible. So I think that's another challenge that this particular store had, because it's in Atlanta and it's in an area of town. Again, a lot of people live in the burbs. Like I lived in the burbs. A lot of people live in like Cobb County or Gwinnett County. And Melanated Fabrics was in Midtown, which is like, again, it's not easy for the people who live in the burbs to get to Midtown unless it's like 3 a.m. or something like that. So I can see why they might have had some challenges that businesses in other areas might not have. Plus, having a fabric shop in general is just tough too. So sorry to see them go. Obviously, I know these ladies have a lot of other stuff going on, and I don't know what was going on behind the scenes, but I was kind of bummed to see that they were closing. And I did check out the website. There's not much left. So if you're trying to get in on that 60% off sale, I was looking at the website and most of the fabric is pretty much gone already. So I was like, oh, let's see what they have. So it seems like they've already sold like sold out of a lot of stuff. So this is the website. Let's check it out. And again, I just haven't been buying a lot of fabric lately. And when I do, I typically go straight to the manufacturers because I have accounts with them. So I just haven't needed to shop a lot of like retail fabric lately. So here is but yeah, like look at, and again, maybe they've added to the stock, but like you can see out of stock. So it seems like a lot of people some of these fabrics are pretty cute, to be honest with you. I wish I'd known, because I kind of came in late to the party here. I think they made the announcement earlier in the week, but like a lot of the fabric is just gone. So it seems like, okay, they have like this dot print. Okay. But a lot of the fabric is like, okay, they have a few things, but a lot of the stuff is already moved. So there's not a lot left. I don't know what's going to happen to the building. And I know Mimi and Brittany have a lot of other stuff going on. So they have other projects and business things. So I think they'll be okay. Let's check a look at the, okay. And here is the kind of story. Again, bummed because I don't think they've been around that, like maybe a few years or something. But, they both seem like nice ladies. And it's just sad to see any fabric store closing because we're running out of options, guys. We're just running out of options. We lost fabric.com. Joann's is on the fritz. We lost Hancock Fabrics. Like, there's just not, like, what is left? Like, what is left? There's not a lot left for us. So that does worry me to see this pattern of fabric shops and quilt shops just shutting down because, I don't know what that, is that like a troubling sign of the times? Like, where are we going to get our supplies, guys? I mean, not that I need any more fabric right now, but it does seem like a little bit troubling that so many of these businesses can't make it or decide to close.